going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
We're back, brand new episode. It is July 12th, 2021. We took a couple weeks off. Has
it been 2 weeks or 1 week?
I don't know. 2
Think-
weeks? I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure it's 2 weeks.
because last week you couldn't do it, and then the week before I couldn't do it, or I
Yeah.
came down but you're asleep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then we couldn't schedule anything like the rest of the week. So, yeah. So, 2 weeks off. And we are back. A lot of stuff to talk about today. We've been chit-chatting a little bit before about all the fights over the past weekend, and some of the things we've been doing on our time off. But yeah, man, everything's good though, right?
Yeah, I just work. Getting ready to go on vacation pretty soon. So it's Sequoia, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, the Sequoia National Park, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go check out. I don't know. I've never been to that national park, but I know you're gonna go check out some bears and do some.
Yeah, well, it's known for bears. Yeah, it's a bear.
Which is did you hear about that lady that got eaten by a bear recently?
No.
You
Maybe
hear about that? Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to see, try to. I don't want to ruin your bear hunting trip, but
What happened?
No. She, like the usual story, comes over and checks out her tent, and then leaves, and then comes back and ends up dragging her out of the tent and fucking killing her. And,
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So just watch out.
Oh shit.
But we are brought to you by Bravus Brewing. Bravus Beer Company. They are based out of Anaheim. They got some of the best non-alcoholic beers you guys can even try, man. They have IPAs, they have reds, they have what else? They have stout. They have like the raspberry,
amber ales.
Amber ales, blondes.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So you can go on their website, mix and match. 12 packs, 24 packs. They got free shipping on anything over, I believe, $20 or something like that, and which is not bad. Which is basically everything. And then you go and use our promo code Complex and get 10% off your order. So savings on top of savings, and then they ship it to your house, and then you could get.
No, it's cool because you can customize. Because sometimes I buy a 6-pack and I go, oh, I wish I had some blondes, some males.
Yeah.
This time you can mix and match. You can get 2 of everything.
Yeah, you make your own little assorted packs, and it's a good stuff. So make sure you guys check them out. Bravus Brewing, promo code Complex for 10% off all your order. So, man, you have Conor and Poirier this past weekend, so let's just get right into that, man. A lot to break down, a lot to cover. Overall, I thought it was a great night. First night, UFC is back in the T-Mobile Arena. Full sold out crowd, celebrities, athletes, you name it. Everybody's there to check out Conor and this big event. And I mean, Conor draws the crowd, man. People come out, celebrities come out. And they get a lot of attention, so it's good for all the fighters on the card in a way. Like everybody on there gets a shine, gets a rub. Poirier, obviously took this fight with Conor because it's a big payday. You get pay-per-view points on top of that, so I think Dana was projecting 1.8 million pay-per-view buys, almost maybe 2 million, near 2 mil. That's good, and it's good for Poirier, who gets pay-per-view points on the back end. So I mean, it's good for everybody involved, especially on the card. You want to end up on one of those Conor cards, and all the fighters, I'm sure benefit in a lot of ways. So, the main event didn't last long. It was over in a round. You had Gilbert Burns and Wonder Boy in the co-main event. And you had a pretty fun main card, I would say,
Yeah, I really enjoyed that Irene fight.
Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
Yeah, and Irene freaking really brought it, man. She looked really good.
She looked like she's coming to her own now, finally.
Yeah. Yeah, and the stand-up, the ground.
Mm-hmm.
She had stunned Yana Kunitskaya,
Yeah, that
sent
was a
her
great
pack.
fight.
That's a
And
good
like
fight.
now, ever since Moreno won the title, I think the UFC's kind of getting like these like their Mexican fighters,
Mm-hmm.
Mexican-born fighters into to stars maybe hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Like they can take all those people to Mexico and build a card around them.
yeah, you got a lot of uh, Mexican-born fighters really coming into their own, and you got a champ now who's a Mexican-born champ, um, and Moreno, and then you have some of the ladies, the Mexican, ladies
Jesse
out there.
Grasso.
Then you have a lot of Mexican American fighters, like Henry Cejudo and all these other people, like even Tony Ferguson, who are out there making are big names, and
Yeah.
people you don't even know are like Mexican or half Mexican, like Cub Swanson or
Jeremy
Justin
Stevens.
Justin Gaethje,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
half Mexican.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, what's his name? What is his name?
Or Dominic Cruz is also
Dominic Cruz, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
And then from San Diego, he what's his name?
From San Diego?
Remember he pushed the guy and he ended up getting like whiplash. Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
Jeremy Stevens, another who's another Mexican fighter. You know what I mean? His dad's Mexican.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So a lot of representation, and now Mexican-born fighters are kind of coming into their own and showing full, well-rounded, elite-level skills. And
And Brian Ortega's another one.
Brian Ortega, yeah, another guy. So, yeah, man. Again, with Irene Aldana, she really showed up, and it was a good fight. Then he had Sean O'Malley, yeah, taking on I gotta let me pull up the card. Because he was on a week's notice. I mean, tough kid, took a freaking beating.
But I think Irene didn't make weight, right?
Yeah, she missed weight, but I think Daniel was gonna. Did you see the post-fight press conference where Daniel was gonna give her 75, and then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, I didn't know she lost
didn't make weight.
weight."
I don't know about that anymore.
I mean, you said it now, man. You can't.
Yeah.
I think he's still gonna give it to her though. But she hasn't lost. She didn't. She never. She's not one for missing weight.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But
basically, they take 10% of the purse, and I mean, she gets a little bit of that back.
Yeah. But I think if it was a guy, it would probably been a different story.
Oh yeah, for sure. You had Max Griffin defeating Carlos Condit, Michelle Pereira defeating Nico Price, Leah Taparia defeating Ryan Hall on the undercard. So, and then you had Jennifer Maya and Jessica Ai. Did you watch that one? I missed that one.
No, I didn't see that one either. No.
So
No.
Jennifer Maya, I think unanimous decision over Jessica Ai, and Jessica Ai had this big old gash right in the middle.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the fight, but I saw that. The undercard, actually a pretty decent undercard. I didn't see all of the undercard, but I saw most of the top prelim. And
I had it on the background, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah. Carlos Condit looked good, even though he lost 3-round decision. He looked pretty decent. Ryan Hall, he's looked good in every other fight, and people have not wanted to fight that guy. It's just, he got caught. It's just, his tricks ended up backfiring this time around. Sean O'Malley defeating Chris Montinho, third round TKO. Maybe 30 seconds left or so in the round. Could have probably been finished earlier, but Sean O'Malley looked good, even with that pressure and that backpedaling the whole time. It looked good. Again, Irene Aldana defeating Yana Kunitskaya round 1. Looked amazing.
Yeah.
TKO punches.
That was my favorite fight of the night.
Yeah. Tayatu Ivasa defeating Greg Hardy round 1. I think
that's crazy.
Opening minute.
Finally.
Or I think, opening minute, or at least, I think it was opening minute of round 1.
Is that Hardy's first loss in the UFC?
No. He's lost a couple times. He lost his last fight. I think his first. Did he fight Volkov? I think he fight Volkov and got outclassed by Volkov.
That's right. Yeah. You're right.
And then
because that fight was a short notice fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he fought Tibura. I think his last fight was against Tibura. I want to say. a decision loss against Tibura. And a couple others, but Tai Tuivasa, he went, he's gunslinging with Tai, and Tai's a little bit more seasoned striker. You know what I mean? He's not that not expert level, glory kickboxing striker, but he can
hold his own.
And he's comfortable throwing the hands more so than Greg Hardy. So somebody was going to go down. Greg Hardy went down. Gilbert Burns defeating Stephen Thompson. I think we talked about that before. I thought Gilbert did what he needed to do. It's never a pretty fight when you're fighting Wonderboy Thompson, and to win against him is another thing.
People were really thrilled about the fight, but I mean, you can't blame.
I enjoyed it because I was curious on how
he solved the puzzle.
On how he was going to approach the fight, and because that's always the biggest thing. How are you going to approach this fight? And it's not easy to beat Thompson. And
he's most fighter, man.
Yeah, and most guys lose to him. So, Gilbert Burns went in there, made it a dirty fight, tried to close the quarters and get the takedown if it's there, and he did, and won best out of three. So he looked good.
Smart.
And then you got the main event. A lot of hype going into this one, a lot of build up. Kind of came up faster than I expected in terms of the night itself, and both fighters looked great in terms of their weight and energy levels. And if anything, I thought Conor looked more in shape and energized this time around.
Dude, he looked great.
He looked really good.
Like shit on her, she was shredded.
His last fight, he looked weak and drained and just lack of energy and desire. He looked horrible, even physically, his last time around. This time around, he looked strong, fit, muscular, all that stuff. So he looked really good this time around. And then I think it showed in the cage. They ended up on the feet, competitive on the feet. Conor landed a couple of punches that stung Dustin. Dustin fired back. Dustin goes for a takedown. Conor ends up going for a guillotine. Looked pretty close, but still a risky move. And then ended up on the ground with Dustin on top for majority of the rest of the round. Conor staying very active though. Having a tight guard, throwing a lot of elbows, even going for another guillotine at one point. But Dustin, has a really good top level ground and pound. Mm-hmm. So he dropping a lot of good elbows.
Plus, he's a lot bigger than him.
And and then we were talking about that too. The fact that Dustin is just looks a lot bigger than most guys that are coming up from 145 or normally in that 145 pound range, like Conor is, I think. I mean, Dustin made Max Holloway look small, and Max Holloway is a big guy. So Dustin is just wide and thick, and he looked physically a bigger guy than Conor. And
how did you feel about the whole Conor grabbing into the gloves, doing them kicks?
I wasn't mad at it. I mean, that was a good.
I mean, I would do the same thing.
That's a good strategy. You know what I mean? You hook the gloves a little bit and fucking kick up.
Yeah.
No one's who's gonna notice that shit. Nobody really. I thought that was a good technique. I heard about that afterwards. I thought that was pretty good. I probably would have done. No, but it's such a small movement of you really just you're grabbing.
I mean, it's smart to get someone off of you.
Yeah, because people would, the ref will probably just see you think that you're grabbing the wrist, but you really hook the inside of the glove and you're just keeping them there and you're pulling them down at the same time you're kicking up. It's pretty clever.
It's pretty smart. Yeah.
And then Conor gets up, Dustin gets up. They exchange a little bit. Both of them throw. Well, Dustin throws a left, Conor throws a right, and then both of them kind of miss. And then
I think Conor pivoted back, right? And
Conor pivoted back, and then there goes his ankle, snaps, and then it's around the shin area. It's a tibula, or I don't know what kind of bone.
Conor's team, I think, said today that the kick that messed him up was the kick that Poirier checked.
Yeah, because they were trying to figure out if there was any shots that might have, caused an injury, maybe weakened the bone at some point, and Connor's coach Kavanaugh said that Connor did injure that ankle, may or may not have contributed to it, but that it wasn't necessarily a check kick because Connor threw a lot more kicks this time around. He actually fought like a mixed martial artist this time around.
I was gonna say he never threw those kicks.
Yeah, he threw a lot more kicks and a lot to the body, and then there was one to the body that landed in the liver area of Dustin, but
It caught the arm, right?
in a slow mo, like the toes and the ball of the foot are hitting Dustin, but Dustin's elbow is like this and is landing on top of Connor's ankle. So it's like that, and his Connor's toes and his foot are underneath, but the elbow is hitting. Dustin's elbow is hitting Connor's ankle and shin area. Yeah. So he's like this. So they're thinking maybe that's where it could have happened. But
bad though.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Connor's team is pointing out that that's maybe where the bone might have weakened right before he stepped back and they threw the punches. And
because I'm sure Connor felt it when he
maybe and maybe that contributed to it, or maybe it was just some freak thing to where you step back wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
And then that's it. Your ankle snaps and you roll it wrong, and it's fucking just and it was nasty. It looked
disgusting, huh?
It was nasty. And then there's a lot of aftermath afterwards. There's a lot of trash talking in the cage from both sides afterwards. And that was the night. I mean, fun, entertaining. I don't even. I
kind of a tease on like you want more.
Yeah, I think even with the injury, it left people wanting more.
Yeah.
So
just because there wasn't a definitive winner.
Yeah, there wasn't a definitive win. It was
TKO.
It was a very fun back and forth round. I guess it was a fun round. Dustin, I think, was definitely getting the better of Connor, especially when they ended up on top. But like I what I noticed, I thought Connor didn't look exhausted or defeated getting back up. Actually, I thought he looked pretty well conditioned and looked ready for the second round. Obviously until the.
I wonder how Connor would look in the third round though. Oh.
Well, you never know. Obviously, with Connor, he doesn't do well in the later rounds, especially if it's a high pressure wrestling based kind of fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is good for Connor in a lot of ways, to where he can. I mean, obviously, it's not that good, but
it's the best case scenario.
Yeah, it's the best case scenario for right now. You made it competitive. You didn't get blown out. It was a fun round. It was a freak injury. Dustin's gonna go do his thing. Yep. Connor's gonna rehab and surgery and all this other stuff. So he probably won't be back till early next year.
Okay, yeah, I think the recovery times are 6 months.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you got to think
rehab.
Recovery, rehab, training camp, and setting up a fight. So you gotta say
like
this time next year,
spring, summer next year,
June, July. May, June, July.
A year isn't that bad.
It's not that bad, but still,
it's still a lot.
When you've been as inactive as him, it's not good. So
no,
I don't know. So
or it can be where Connor, it doesn't affect him anymore because he's used to taking as much time off.
Yeah. So that's the card itself. Now let's get to the aftermath. Okay, so I mean, your takeaways from the fight itself. Did we learn anything about either fighter? Is it just still kind of up in the air in terms of obviously Poirier, I think from my take is that what we've always known is that he's probably a little bit better of the well-rounded fighter. Yeah. Because he's got a ground game. He's got a ground and pound. He's tough. He's got a good stand-up. All that. He's got submissions under his belt. Connor is obviously primarily a really, elite level stand-up fighter, striker. Decent ground. Decent defense on the ground. Not much for submissions in terms of wrestling, but he's got a decent enough ground game to get back to the feed. So we've always, I don't know if we learned anything new.
I don't think so.
No?
I think that, and in my opinion, I just saw Poirier, do the same thing if it went to the second round and
Yeah.
possibly win that fight. Gun to the
Especially
head.
if it went down to the ground.
Yeah, I think gun to the head. I'd say that Poirier would have won that fight if it went past the first,
Yeah.
or no injury when it was involved. But I'm kind of glad that there's a fourth fight coming. Kind of just settle the air and
Yeah.
there'll be a definitive winner. But I think Conor looked good. I think he didn't look bad. He wasn't getting beat up.
Well, he looked better than last time for sure.
Yeah, he had his moments. He rocked Poirier. Poirier said himself that he was hurt.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. It's a freak accident that happened, and it sucks that we have to wait another year to see it again.
I know. Yeah, I don't think we learned anything new. I don't. I think both of them looked really good. They're doing what they needed to do. I thought Conor could probably learn from his mistake of going for a submission and, obviously improve more on his, or focus more on the fact that, his takedown defense, like he did with Khabib, he really focused a lot on takedowns and takedown defense and actually reverse some positions on Khabib in their fight. And he should have been able to do that against Dustin.
But I wonder why he went for that submission. Was that out of desperation, or was it like?
I think he felt like he had it.
That it was there.
It looked tight. It looked
no, it did.
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought he was gonna get submitted.
I think he was messing around with it, and then I think he got overconfident and was like, you know what, this might be tight. And I think maybe he was confident in his conditioning that it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, because they're already in the first round.
So they're barely in the first round.
Restraints.
So I think a lot of it was just let me try this out, see how it goes. And I mean, it definitely wasn't the best position to be in, but you know what? I think it helped with the fact that Dustin maybe was more focused on the ground and pound than the wrestling or the holding him down, like Khabib would have been, because it allowed Conor to kind of
come back in a sense,
and avoid that body pressure, and more of just avoid shots.
Yeah, because if he had to deal with Dustin's weight, I think he would have been more tired.
Yeah, he would have been more tired, and the fact that Dustin didn't put his weight on him.
No, he didn't.
Allowed Conor to have a little bit more injury ending the first round. Yeah. But it obviously
attack.
Dustin's got a really solid ground pound, so it's dangerous position to be in. I think I'm glad there's a fourth. I wish the third would have gone the distance, but we're not going to get that. We're going to have to wait. But no, I don't think we knew anything. We got anything new out of that fight. I thought both of them looked really good. The only thing new is that I could see that Conor actually came in 100% prepared. And that was pretty much it. As far as where they go from here, we know where Dustin's going. He's going to Charles Oliveira. And then after that, most likely the Conor fight.
Oh, that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, so Dustin's got his future kind of somewhat lined up.
Yeah.
Conor is up in the air. He just had surgery. He's got, a recovery period. He's got a rehab period. And
plus, the whole landscape of the sport will probably be a lot different than it is now.
I mean, there might be a new champ at that time. And who knows? Who knows what a year from now that division is going to look like.
I think best case scenario for Conor is Dustin wins a bout and they fight for the title. But
yeah.
I think Dustin wants him to win at least one fight, right?
Yeah. But no, I think Dustin will take that fight. Okay. If he's champ, it doesn't matter. If he's champ or not champ, I think he's going to take that fight because Conor's a payday. You got to take it.
It's bigger than the belt.
So as far as Conor's, we talked about this too. His future, I say it's going to be Dustin probably in a year. And then you got the Nate trilogy, depending on how the Dustin fight goes. And then I think you get the Nate trilogy regardless. And then I could see another one in there. I could see a Tony Ferguson. I could see a Justin Gaethje. I could see something like that being thrown in there.
You mean badass, but I know it wouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. Like Nick fights at 155 against Conor.
Yeah. But Nick seems like he's in a either welterweight or he's going to go to 185. He seems like he's staying up.
Yeah.
But that's where I see Conor's future, and I could see
Conor fights Nick at 170.
That's true. I can see that.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Nate and then Nick.
That'd be fucking
That's
crazy.
that'll be crazy. That'll be good. I wouldn't
His
mind
last
that.
two fights.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
And I can see Connor calling it a day. By the time that those 3 fights or so get
Yeah.
done,
Because
after
I'd rather him fight Nick than Ferguson.
yeah. But I just like I was just thinking of anybody else in that division that
That
you could
makes
throw
sense.
in there
Yeah.
that makes sense, and those two make sense. But a Nick fight would be great. And then I could see Connor calling it a day, like around the 35-year range. He's 32 now. He'll be 33 by the time he fights again.
Rich as hell.
Yeah, rich, and then you have 2, 3 more fights in that span of time, and then in a 2-year span, and then there you go. Call it a day. Maybe get a boxing fight in there sometime at one point, maybe against an old Manny Pacquiao,
That'd be awesome.
and then
That's
then
it.
there you go. Then you call it a day. You might win some of those. You might win all of them. You might win none of them.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. And then you make your money, and then you call it a day, and then you go
After
and
sunset.
you're good. You're good. Your career is good. You get even if you have 3 fights and you win 2 out of the 3,
That's still awesome.
that's still good.
Yeah.
Your career is and your legacy is pretty much established at that point. You didn't go the Ronda Rousey route, so you're gonna have that credibility to your name.
Yeah.
And all in all, I think the future is not over for Connor. I know a lot of people are writing him off at this point, but the guy's only 32.
You can go to pro wrestling and fucking make a boatload of money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he's only 32 years old. He's definitely got 2 to 3 of prime competition, high level years in him, and so I think he's got some fights still left in him. And I see especially after that trash talk after the fight, we're gonna see Connor again.
Oh
so,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. What else? Did you see Ronda Rousey's comments?
Yeah, saying that, pretty much calling Connor a gangster for talking shit. When he's sitting down
With a broken ankle on the floor, and you're setting up your next fight. And she's like, I probably wouldn't have done that. I'm like, yeah, we all know you wouldn't have done that. yeah.
crying in your locker room and not refuse to speak to
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. You look at Rousey. She went away. She disappeared.
That's crazy.
So that ruined her legacy.
It feels like yesterday when we saw her at the hotel and we had to like told us to be quiet because she didn't want anybody else to notice her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I was holding her tea and then she called Liz, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Remember
that's
that?
crazy. Yeah.
It's only me and you because
I know.
She told us to
Yeah.
not say
So
anything.
what he's talking, what Jamie talking about? Yeah, we ran into Ronda Rousey at one of the fighter hotels, and I think it was after her fight with Liz Carmouche, and then we saw her coming out. Just me and him were close by where she was coming out to the lobby, and then we got first dibs on.
I think only the. Oh no, I think some people.
Yeah,
saw her
they saw her afterwards. We got a picture. We called my wife, then girlfriend at the time, and she was chatting with Ronda Rousey on the phone. I don't know why I did that, but
That's crazy.
it just seemed like a good idea. I was like, hey, you want to talk to my girl? She's right on the phone. And then Ronda was cool, man. She was chit chatting with my wife and all that stuff, and then took a picture with her and signed some stuff and our hats and all that, and it was great. It was a good time.
I remember holding that tea and I want to put my tongue on it. I do remember that.
What if she saw you and turned around and saw you looking at her cup?
I got my ass handed to myself.
What the fuck you doing?
Sarah and her friend, right? Mariah, what was her name?
Miranda or whatever.
Yeah.
She went to pro wrestling, right, for a little while, and then she got pregnant.
Yeah,
right?
she got knocked out by one of the wrestlers at AEW. Fuck, lucky ass.
Who is her baby daddy?
I don't know. I know he's a wrestler though.
Oh, okay. Is he still active wrestler?
I think so. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least she didn't get knocked out by a chomp, and
that's true.
He's
and then remember we saw her,
pro wrestler.
Remember we saw her before anybody knew who she was because she was a Strikeforce champion.
Oh yeah.
And the security guards didn't let her in.
Yeah.
This
is before
who
people
she
knew.
was.
Yeah.
She was wearing blue that day. I remember.
She wasn't really. Did she just get signed to the UFC, or she wasn't
no,
even
she was
signed?
a Strikeforce champion.
She was
This
signed
is
it?
after she beat Alexa Davis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just there supporting
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah. They wouldn't let her into the Staples Center. I remember that. Hmm. We were there too. Took a picture with her again there too.
Yep.
We had like 3 encounters with Rousey, I think.
And then the third one was we were chasing her down the parking lot. Remember the
Yeah.
underground parking lot?
No, we were in the underground parking lot, and she came out
She came
from
out.
one of the doors.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then we saw her there, and then got to take a picture with her again. No, I think she signed something. I don't know what she signed.
And then who were we in the elevator with? Was it Rhonda?
I don't. Oh yeah, this is the 4th time. Yeah. Okay, so, but this was at the same hotel though.
Yeah, I think it was the same day, right?
So she ended up getting in the elevator. We had to go. We got into the elevator, and then she got into the elevator. Machida got into
but
the
before
elevator.
then, we ran into the matchmaker.
Joe Silva.
And we're talking about matchups.
Yeah. We were chatting with
Isn't that
Joe
crazy?
Silva. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
It was me, you, Ariel, and Joe Silva.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah. Forgot Ariel was there.
Yeah, because Ariel told us, hey, the Shogun went to get his autograph. Remember when we go
Oh,
chase him?
yeah.
Yeah. Then Machito was having lunch with his family or dinner. Remember that?
Yeah.
We couldn't get it because he told us to come back later.
Yeah. But we were in the elevator with him.
And then he came in.
Yeah.
I remember the elevator saying, fuck. Because then remember that little mirror on top of the elevator you can see behind you?
Yeah.
See Rhonda, Machida. I was like, oh, fuck.
Who else was in there? Was there anybody? I thought there was a third. Was Shogun in there?
I don't know. Was he? Machida, Rhonda for sure.
I know it was Machida Ronda for sure.
Marina.
Yeah. Marina Shafir. Or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah, that's her name.
And there's one other person.
There's one more, huh?
Well, no, there's a couple other people, but
I would say,
maybe no other fighters. It might have just been them two.
Dan Hardy? No.
No.
Not Dan Hardy, but, what's his name? Dan Henderson? No?
No. I don't remember who. I thought there was a third person. I want to say Musashi, but I don't think Musashi was in there.
Vandalay, maybe?
No, it wasn't Vanderlei.
No. I don't know.
I would remember Vanderlei.
I remember Vandalay giving me a shirt, remember?
Yeah. I remember.
Was it the same night?
Might have been the same night.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Fuck, we went to some shit, haven't we?
Yeah. What else is going on? As far as the fight week, that's about it.
I'd say that was the biggest story of the week.
Those are the biggest stories. I thought Shannon O'Malley did good. I thought everybody did good. No, I know there was a Addison Rae is a TikTok, YouTube kind of person. She was getting a lot of hate because she was doing some commentary stuff, backstage commentary stuff for the UFC, and people were like hating on her because they're like, "Oh, I went to school for 4 years in journalism, and you're a TikTok fucking person, and you took my, you took the dream job." And I mean,
they're right, but
they're right, but I mean, when you're a celebrity and the internet's loving you, and you got guys fucking jerking off to your pictures every fucking,
that's why
it is what it is, man.
That's why
she is their demographic. Like guys know who that watch it. Or that age range know who Addison Rae is or whatever the fuck her name is. But I know her. I know her photos. So
yeah,
I don't know her TikTok, but
But yeah, that's kind of fucked up though, right?
Yeah. It is. It doesn't it's not fair, but it is what it is. It's life.
I mean, we experience that all the time.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on?
I don't think so. No.
That's the biggest stuff this week. We just wanted to get an episode out. All right, so that's our episode, man. We're gonna get to we'll do another one next week. I don't see why not. And thank you guys all for joining us. Remember, Bravus Brewing promo code Complex for 10% off your order.
Yeah. Until then, guys, enjoy your week, and we'll see you guys next week.